Morning to you, gang. It's Monday, the 12th of March, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk on a rather damp day out there, it looks. Paul Mosley, good morning, Paul, has already told us it's a very grotty Birmingham this morning. Yes, dark and dismal. The clouds are over here, boys and girls. Who's early today? Let's see who's got the first message. Oh, it's Adam the Plumber. First message in this morning from Adam the Plumber. Diane, good morning, Diane. Kathy, Conquest, Forsyth, Smith. I can just about get your name out in one breath, dear. Such a lot. Can you drop a couple of those names? It's very difficult to get the entire name out in one go. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Callum. Coming down to the karaoke. Now, you keep saying that, Callum. You've told me this about 10 times now, that you're going to come down to the karaoke over the last year, and you don't appear. It's as if you've been... what's that word? Abducted by an alien somewhere, and they are sending out messages pretending to be you. It's all very strange and mysterious. It really is. Yes, do be careful, Callum, of the aliens, dear. Good morning, Mark. Glenda's there. Good morning, Glenda Stroll. Welcome along. Thank you. Glenda says I look handsome today. Do you know, Glenda, I think so too. I've spent hours looking at the mirror in front of myself this morning. I really have. Good morning, Glenda. Very sad news this morning, really. I woke up to receive a message from the delightful Wendy Young, who provides our annual... Why is that way? Oh, I've swapped them over, haven't I? Annual Barry Manilow calendar, who told me Ken Dodd had died, and I've been watching it on the news this morning. I was watching a wrong blooming news channel this morning. I like to watch Business Live, which is on 8:30 to 12 o'clock. It's not just business on it. You get technology news and all that stuff on there as well. And I'm kind of watching it, and they started going on about scones, although they called them scones. They were going on about scones, about how if you should have the jam or the cream on top, but it don't matter any difference. Tastes exactly the same, doesn't it? They were having, I kid you not, they were having an entire discussion this morning on how to put the cream and the jam on scones. And I'm looking at the clock, and it's now like 20 to 9. Now, where's the business? And I'm watching the wrong blooming channel, ain't I? Because at 8:30, the BBC Breakfast Show is on BBC News Channel and BBC One at the same time. Well, at 8:30, it splits up. So the breakfast kind of show, light-hearted, on the sofa thing, carries on BBC One. But on BBC News Channel, they have this business programme on, which I always find quite entertaining. There's a couple of presenters that I quite like on there. Ben, he's very good looking, and the one who waves his arms around, but I haven't seen him for some time now. You know, it's all that's right, sconegate on the BBC News Channel this morning. Yes, good morning, Merlin. Merlin's there as well. Okay. Yes, Callum. Well, I like surprising appearances. Well, they're not surprising, are they? If you keep telling us you're coming down and then don't appear. There's a few people like that. There's a few people that I have unfriended over the years, so be careful. I can't bear false promises. Thou shalt not bear witness to false promises. I think that's in the Bible somewhere, and I think you'll find that's correct. Do you want me to look that up in the Bible now? Oh, I haven't got one down here. What a shame. I'll have to pop in to a travel lodge and see somewhere like that. Anyway, back to the main story today. Morning, Ray Reynolds. About Ken Dodd. Yes, he died at home. This is in this morning's Daily Express, where he was born. How wonderful, actually, to kind of die and live, be born and die at the same house. Isn't that nice? He must have loved it there. He must have absolutely loved it there. He died in the Liverpool suburb of Knotty Ash. So Ken Dodd was most famous for his long stand-up shows, as well as Diddy Men and the Tickling Stick. I've got a tickling stick. Oh, yes, mine. I've got one here. I have a tickling stick. This isn't the actual Ken Dodd one. I use this mainly to dust, and you're looking for... Oh, my God, look, the dust come off that, dear. Look at that. That's very dusty at the moment, my mirror ball. That is my tickling stick. I've had this for years. Very good. I think it works for attracting dust through static or something like that. The comic's death has come after he was discharged from Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital just a fortnight ago. Yeah, he had a bad chest infection. A lot of people have bad chest infections at the moment. You know, if you've got a chest infection, you're probably worried now. But I don't think it would have worried him. He'd just happy all the time. So there's lots and lots in the papers this morning. I don't know if it made the printed copies, but certainly online, because it happened quite late last night. In the Daily Mail this morning, it goes on with some of his wonderful jokes, such as, I haven't spoken to my mother-in-law for 18 months. I don't like to interrupt her. Now, if you've got a mother-in-law, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. Who's married? Get rid of them, dear. Get rid of them. Never mind. Men's legs have a terribly lonely life. Standing in the dark in your trousers all day. Ken Dodd. Ken Dodd. And there's nothing ever rude. You notice that? There's nothing ever rude or character destroying about Ken Dodd's jokes. They're all just fun, aren't they? Nothing ever offensive. It's 10 years since I went out of my mind. I'd never go back. You think you can get away with, but you can't. I'll follow you home and I'll shout jokes through your letterbox. When is he still going strong as the show it approached midnight? He was well known for going well over on his shows, you know. Oh, yes, you know, you might go to a Ken Dodd show 8 till 11. He'd still be on the stage at 1 o'clock in the morning. They can't get him off. I love it. I absolutely, isn't it wonderful? It really is. Good morning to Heidi this morning. Thank you. And it's great. And of course, very well known for his song Happiness, which I think I'll do at the karaoke today. I've done that one before. Happiness, happiness, the greatest gift that I possess. I thank the Lord that I possess more than this gift of happiness. Da, 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 da. I've done that at karaoke before. I think I might start with that one this evening. I might start the show tonight. Usually I never start the show, actually. I might start it tonight with that one. Which is nice. So sadly, missing Ken Dodd, 90 years old, so that's not bad. You know, sometimes I must say, when I hear so-and-so has died at this age, and then I start counting up I'm 55, 65, 75, well, that gives me another 35 years. You know, 35 more years of me chatting. Every single day. You've got to get fed up with it at some point, surely. Huh? Thank you to those of you that are sharing the show to your walls this morning. So anything you want to say about Ken Dodd, feel free to chuck it up there and I'll read it out. Merlin says, last time I stayed at a posh hotel, I checked in, the lady made a call and started to check me in. Phone rang and she took me to the room and she opened the door and said, there you are, sir. I hope you enjoy your stay. I asked housekeeping to remove the Bible. Your messages are jumping up there. As we didn't want to offend your religious beliefs. Me, slightly taken aback, says, what religious beliefs? She said, well, I assumed you had a funny surname, so I just assumed. Stupid cow. Yeah, but you would have laughed at that, wouldn't you? Did you laugh at that, or were you offended? No, you would have laughed. Some people get really offended by, let's be honest, the mistakes of some people. And I mean, how stupid must she? It was your skin colour, wasn't it? Just because you look at a dark skin, probably assumed you were Muslim. Make no difference at all. We have Indian and Pakistani people in the church, you know, who are obviously, and you can see them looking around. You know, the people that see you say, I'm pretty colourblind. I'm pretty colourblind when it comes to people. But you can see those that see all the, what's she doing in here with her sari on? Well, she's a Catholic. Really? Yes, racist. Stupid people. That's what they are. Merlin says, what I liked about Ken Dodd was that he really didn't care about what others thought. He just went there through life trying to make people laugh. That's where I am, Merlin, actually. That's where I am. I don't really care what people think anymore. You know, there's always going to be someone trying to bring you down. When I stand sometimes doing karaoke or something, and you might be having a little bit of and you can pick out the ones and you say, oh, that one really hates me. And you can see them. Or you might say something and they'll completely ignore you. You're looking directly at them, speaking for the mic, trying to make them, and they will completely ignore you. You don't connect with that person at all after that. It's pointless. They are always going to hate you no matter what you do. So you just move on to someone who's kind of, shall we say, in the gang. in the game. Someone who wants to join in and wants to be sort of entertained. There's no point in trying to bring someone across who hates you from the very start. And there's always someone, always someone. Good morning, Andy Baker. Morning, John, who says, what a great day to stick a cucumber for your letterbox and shouting, the aliens have landed. You've been watching the news this morning, because I saw that as well. R.I.P, Sir Ken. Thanks for the happiness you gave us. Yes, I mean, he was just wonderful, wasn't he? Variety shows, London Palladium, although I remember him on the television. Did he have a children's show at one point? I think he had a BBC children's show at one point as well, didn't he? And how lovely that he married his partner of 40 years just before he died. Wasn't that? Was it on Friday, I think it was? Just a couple of days ago, he's been with this girl for 40 years. And he married her on Friday. Maybe he knew then, you know, that he weren't going to go for much longer. They say that, don't they? They do say that. You kind of know, or a lot of people know when they're about to go. So there we are. Let's have a look. Merlin met him at the Cambridge Arts Theatre. I was told I had 5 minutes and spent 45 minutes chatting to him, telling me I should stay. Are you sure it was him chatting and not you, Merlin? Because you do go on a bit, love. You do. Talking to people that go on a bit, I've got a Facebook thing here that I wanted to ring up. Just a second. One of my DJ friends. Oh, he's gone. There he is. One of my DJ friends, Ross Alexander, who actually I haven't spoken to for ages and ages, put a post up this morning, and he's quite right. He's quite right. Let me read this. This is like a completely different subject, but I saw this morning. I want to bring this up before I forget. A word of advice. This is from Ross Alexander, who's himself a DJ and a singer, like an entertainment type person. A word of advice, personality and drag DJs, especially in Blackpool. Stop talking over records. Talk before and after. The punters want to hear the music, not your chat. When you single people out with your non-stop rambling, punters can only hear what you're saying, not what the replies are, which is tedious for the rest of us, who in theory are buying drinks that pay your wages. And he's absolutely right. I've heard this on the radio as well. On a certain very large BBC radio station, believe it or not, DJs that talk halfway through the records. Now, it is a bit different, I think, from the 60s and 70s. I think in those times, DJs were taught to talk over the introduction to a song. So, for example, let me think of an example. I could probably... I'll try. I'll do it for you. Right, hang on a minute. Let's see. What song could I do? One moment, please. I'll choose something that I know. Otherwise, it'll go wrong. Right, hang on. I'll do this for you. You'll see what I mean. That'll do. Right. So this is what I mean by talking over the music, and then stopping. This is how it used to be done in the 60s and 70s, and then stopping right at the beginning before the words start. So this is what I mean by this. You're watching United Kingdom Talk. My name's Chris Reardon on a Monday morning, just coming up to 23 minutes past 9 on a beautiful day outside. It really is. And we got the sad news of Ken Dodd dying, such a wonderful, wonderful entertainer. We'll be talking about him and his very long career after this wonderful track from the 1970s and the Stylistics. Who can't give you anything but their undying love. Right, get it? That is how it used to be. You were impressed with that, weren't you? Go on, yeah, I didn't think I'd do that. That's a long intro. But that's how it was. The DJ would speak right up to just before the lyrics came in. And I too have seen DJs talking over... A minute, let me just stop that. Talking halfway through tracks. They think that's amusing, whether on the radio or in a club. Or talking or trying to talk up to the beginning and then going too far. You know, if you get to that bit, then shut up and let the song start singing. Now, on a similar subject, someone replied to all his chat there, is that personality DJs who bring shows onto the stage and then interrupt the show. They think because it's like, you know, Fred Bloggs' DJ night, when the show comes on, they feel that they are part of it. No, you're not. Unless you have been invited by the said act before you start, or before they start, that, yes, I want you to join in with my show. In fact, Kelly Wilde often says at the beginning of the show, let's bring Chris into the show today. And she wants me to join in. So I have been invited to her show. Otherwise, you don't interrupt. I've known a couple of people, I think one who still does it actually, although I don't think he's DJing now, who thought it was highly amusing to, you know, halfway through someone's joke or something, join in, pick up his mic and join in. No, your job is to play the music, entertain people, bring on a show, and then shut up until that show is finished, and then bring them off, and then bring them on for an encore. If the people mind. Now that's changed. The whole encore thing has changed as well. Now, years ago when I first started putting cabarets on stage, you would know from the audience reaction whether or not they wanted an encore. And you could say, let's choose Ray Reynolds for an example. There's a good example. Ray Reynolds. So it might be Ray Reynolds. And thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone. Boys and girls, put your hands together for Mr. Ray Reynolds. Now, if no one's clapping, if no one's clapping, you say, you might do it again. Ray Reynolds, boys and girls, still no one clapping, and then on with the music. No one wanted a second one. But if it, yeah, Ray Reynolds, and all that, yeah, bring him back on, Ray Reynolds. So, and then you would bring him back on for another one, maybe two. But you would leave it up to the audience. A few years ago, 10 years ago, I got into, no, I didn't get into trouble, but a particular artiste got really annoyed with me because I didn't say to them, do you want one more? Well, they know whether they, no, tell them they want one more. And it changed that I didn't speak to this person for years after that. For years. But as that particular person did that, and then the others started doing it as well. Ask them if they want one. Well, they don't want one more. Yeah, but you haven't asked them. Well, I don't need to ask them. They would have told us all by their applause. And it changed. Something changed. And instead of seeing if they wanted one more or not, they were given one more. Another artist that I've worked with countless times, you can't get them off the stage. And you can see the audience had had enough. They won't go. They say goodnight. Well, they're still... And then 25 minutes later, they're doing the fifth encore. People have had enough. They've seen the show. They thought you were good, but they've had enough. And it goes on and on like that all the time. Oh, it's a joke. It really is. So, yeah. So going back to the whole Ross thing, he's absolutely right. DJs that speak in the middle of records or think it's their God-given right to join in with someone else's cabaret performance is a big, big no-no. Okay, DJs, feel free. Talk at the beginning of the record over the bit with no vocals. Maybe there's sometimes a bit at the end that has no vocals as well. You can talk over that. But don't talk in the middle. Don't think you should fade the middle down in the, you know, someone singing a song, you know, Valerie, yes, and what's going on over there today? Everyone's dancing, they're singing along, and you've just interrupted their night. How stupid can you be? How stupid! And the strange thing is, it's something that appears to be getting worse rather than better. with personality DJs. That's what I do. I'm a personality DJ. But there's a blue moon if I've ever faded the song down halfway through a song when people are singing to it. I've always spoken over that bit at the beginning. Sometimes I don't talk at all. You know, we just play the music. If no one's reacting to anything you say, it's pointless. And that does happen. It does happen sometimes. You know, you've been chatting away. Oh, no one's listening tonight. Oh, well, sod it. I just put the records on. Just put the records on. I say records, you know, they're called songs now. No one calls them records anymore. So you're quite right, Ross. You're absolutely right. And if you remember, Ross worked with me years and years ago at a place called Harpo's Bar in Earls Court. I'm going back here now about 30 years, and we used to do the chat, and he used to do the chat as well. He never used to speak in the middle of a record. He used to speak in between and over the bit at the beginning, but even then you can overdo that sometimes. I think I've been guilty probably of overdoing that a few times over the years, talking too much in the middle of the records, whereas music not flowing as much as it should. Unless, of course, you're a mixing DJ. Now, mixing DJs, they don't talk at all. That doesn't mean to say that they're any less or more than people who do talk doing their DJing. It's just a different way of doing it. You don't want to go into a nightclub with 2,000 people dancing and then some DJ picks up when everyone's off their heads and dancing like that. Someone picks up a microphone. God's sake, man. Must be mad. Paul says they didn't used to chat over the charts on a Sunday when I was taping it. Good job as well, you tight-fisted git. Buy the songs. Were you one of those that taped it off the top 40? And you have to hit that pause button. Oh, shall I leave it a bit longer? Oh, no, it's talked over it. I used to do that. Years ago, and we were only children, weren't we? We had cassette recorders, and the top 40 would come on. Those of you that don't know, top 40 would come on, and we'd have our cassette recorder ready, and he might say, and here's ABBA with Take a Chance on Me, and you hit that pause quickly. If you change your mind, take a chance, take a chance. Oh, great, I've got the beginning of it. But you were never quite sure when they were going to talk at the end. Only up, down, three, and that's, oh no, I've missed it. Mind you, I suppose you could have edited it out with a little editing kit. Did you have a cassette editing kit? Oh, they were a nightmare, they were. It was like a little block. So you bought this cassette editing kit. It was a little block of metal with like slots in it, and you would get your tape and you'd be playing it in your cassette player, and then you'd hear where you want that bit gone, so perhaps where the DJ is speaking. So you'd stop it and you'd carefully get the cassette out and look at the cassette. I've got one here. So here's one. Look. Okay. Can you see that in the middle, that little sponge thing? Can you see that? Okay. Right. So that is the bit that's playing. There's a cassette. Oh, you must know what a cassette is. I don't know what's on this, actually, as a cassette. Now, that sponge bit would be pushing the bit of tape against the metal, what would you call it? The metal receiver, so to speak. Pushed against it like that. So that's where the audio was coming from. So you'd stop it quickly, take cassette out, make a little mark with a special white pen on the tape, and then you pull the tape out, put it in this little thing, and then cut it. It was called splicing. And then you cut it. You'd already gone further forward, incidentally, and made another mark where the DJ had stopped talking again. So that bit of tape you wanted gone, because you couldn't take it out, not like on the computer, not like on Cool Edit Pro or something like that. No, you had to physically remove something. So you'd cut this bit and you'd have this bit of tape there and you'd throw that away. And then, very carefully, you get this special tape and tape the two bits of tape together. And then reel it back in. And that, but it didn't always work. Sometimes then you might put the tape in, be playing away, and suddenly it would stop at the point where you'd taped it because you'd overlapped the tape a little bit too much. Oh, it was a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And the worst one were the long tapes. Now, so a C60 and a C90, they were okay to work with. But the C120s, oh my God, you would pull this tape out and it would start curling up. You'd cut it and the thing would curl back into there. And, oh no! And then then you'd have to unscrew, because there's like you'd unscrew this. You'd have to take the top off, wind it back up. Oh, it was an absolute nightmare. Paul says the rewind button used to hurt my finger after 3 hours. And that's what we used to do with cassettes. Yes. Where are we at the top there? Ray says Alan Freeman used to get requests to just pause or say just before and wet it and push it at the top of the tape holes. Or you could wind it forward. You wind the tape forward with a pen, you see. And often with those cassette recorders, it was quicker to put your pen in like that and then go like, and then kind of do that. You need a Bic pen, I've got one there, look. This is that it would often be quicker to do it this way rather than put it back in the machine like that. Can you hear that winding back? So I'm winding that tape back now, there. Yeah. God, the stuff it's so much easier now on a computer once you know what you're doing, I have to say. George loved cassette. Good morning, George Mitchell. Morning, sir. Is it today your operation? George has got a bit of an operation today, so we're all wishing you good luck, sir. I loved cassettes, but when the tape got twisted, oh yeah, I actually had to record and kind of show DJ once. I was doing a job on a paddle steamer, which I did for 3 years. The paddle steamer was called the Waverley, and it comes down from Scotland once a year, September usually. And I was already aware that there was a lot of vibration. I was literally standing where the paddle was. They built a stage, so I was standing on there, and it was freezing cold, and I was with my friend Simon Ford. I was 21 at the time, I think 20 or 21 years old. We bought the equipment on, the speakers and all that, and it vibrated like mad, this thing. So there's no way. There were no CDs. CDs didn't exist. Computers didn't exist. We had records. And records, unless you've got a very stable turntable, they jump. And they jump big time. I really do. So we're on top of this thing. I was already aware of that. So I had bought loads of tapes with me. I don't think I'd recorded a whole show, but I had 2 separate cassette decks, and I bought my records. Maybe the records would be all right. Oh, no chance at all. Well, of course, this paddle thing started up. The records jumped 10 times a gun. So I went on to tapes. But my God, was that hard work. Because what happened, I had to keep swapping the tapes and then in my headphones find the beginning of the next song. Fortunately, it was personality DJ led, so I was able to talk while we were looking for the songs as well. And then on with the next one, on with the next one. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, tapes were a godsend then. They really were. The worst example, actually worse than that, was a particular pub in Tooting called the Wheat Chief. Now, I only ever did one gig there. I think it was someone's birthday or wedding. To get to the hall, you went upstairs. So you came through the pub and you went up this windy staircase, carrying speakers and God knows what. Anyway, so we got in there, set up, big room, on the table, everything's set up and we're ready. Okay, and I hadn't noticed the floor. Hadn't noticed it. So I put some records on. Yeah, they sound all right. So I'm playing this record, and then one person entered the room and walked across the dance floor. Well, you would have thought there was a bloody earthquake. And my needles, oh my God, bang. Like my needle's going like this as this person's walking. Everything all right? I said, yeah. I said, that floor's a bit dodgy. Yeah, we do have some problems with that sometimes, but don't worry, it should be all right. I thought, no, it's not going to be all right. So again, I had to get my tapes out for that one. I think I only had one cassette player on that one because I wasn't aware of this floor. I had one cassette player, so I literally had to play cassettes, stop the song, speak, and then put another cassette on. Oh, it was an absolute nightmare. I never worked there again. No, I had another couple of jobs offered. Where is it? The Wheat Chief in Tooting. Oh, no, thank you. Couldn't play the damn records. George says, I've had many occasions where I was DJing, playing vinyl. Friends or whoever would go through my record box when my back was turned. And in the middle of a mix, they would pull a record out and bump my bum and say, can you play this one, please? Did you only have your bum bumped? I used to have mine pinched, George. Quite a lot, because it was quite cute. Well, I think it still is, actually. Looks all right to me there. Aren't we awful, dear? Good morning to Mary Warren this morning. Morning, Mary. I'll give you a little FaceTime later, darling. Good morning to Iqbal. Welcome. First time you're here for the show today. Hello, Alan Russell. George says, I totally agree. Most of these people are drunk. What, the talking DJs over the middle of records? I think you're right. Can you sing Ken Dodd Tears? Oh, I don't know that one well. Don't know it that well. George, you must come to a karaoke night one week, dear. Bring some of your celebrity DJ friends. Do you know you're the only DJ, George, that I'm kind of in contact with now? You come off the main part of the DJing scene. That's it. No one keeps in contact. How weird is that? It's almost sad, isn't it, really? And it's the same has to be said, a lot of the drag queens. You know, since I came off the main sort of, I mean, I'm at Central Station. We have drag queen on there every Saturday night and Sunday. So that's okay. But the main lot of drag, no one kept in contact. How weird is that? And I think that's really sad, to be honest. I do. I feel a little bit hurt with that. But there you go. It's one of those, all those years that you worked with different people. And then you kind of finished that. I'm talking 30, no one kept in contact. How weird is that? Very strange. Did you find the same when you stopped doing your main, area and all that business? Was it the same for you, I wonder? Or did they keep in contact with you? You know, strange. I don't understand why. Here's a joke from Andy, a Ken Dodd joke. What a wonderful day for running down Coronation Street and shouting Crossroads. Yes! What a wonderful day to run into the White Swan and say, come to Central Station. Ray Reynolds met Ken Dodd at the Hexagon Reading, which is not far from me, with my dad, who adored him. And in Clacton, I sat in the front row with Dockyard Doris. Oh, well, I mean, just wonderful Dockyard Doris, as you well know. Gary likes my new background. Thank you, Gary. That's my nephew there. One of my nephews, Gary Butler there, likes the new background. Thank you, Gary. Hope all is well there. Did I ring you yesterday? I tried to ring you yesterday. Oh, no. George's operation has been cancelled. Oh, dear. I'm sorry to hear that, George. Oh, well. Do they give you another date straight away, or do you have to wait for, like, a letter through the post? Mary says my sister used to pull it out of the case to spite me. Pull what out, dear? What's she pulling out of the case? The tears cassettes caused. Oh, yeah. Good morning to Joseph. DJ Chris is in the house. You're correct, Joseph. Welcome along to the show, sir. Alan says if you wanted to make the tape into a blank tape, you'll get a bit of toilet roll, wet it and push it in the top of the tape holes. Yeah, that's right. Because they had like security holes on the top. You're not going to be able to see that unless I light it up with something. Oh, I've got a light here. Hang on a minute. Very careful. Right, hang on. I've got a light here. Right, if you look, right, so when you recorded something on a cassette tape, if you wanted to keep it, you'd break off a little tag. Now, can you see that there? There's a tag there, yeah? These are double-sided, so you play one side and then the other. There's a tag there. Can you see the little tag? Yes, you can. There it is. On the other side, it's been broken off. So there must be something important on this cassette. I need to find out what's on that. Excellent. Excellent. Ooh, let's have a little look there. Bum, 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 bum. Good morning, Kathy. My cousin was a DJ, started on Radio Caroline. Mike Allen, is that your cousin? Mike Allen. Yeah, I know Mike Allen. Well, not personally, but yeah, I remember his show. Wasn't he on Capital as well? The Mike Allen Show on Capital Radio, 95.8 FM. Yeah, something like that. Good. Good morning to Miss Collishaw. Good morning, Miss Collishaw. It's one of my exes, dear. Anthony Collishaw. Walking around with other people's organs stuffed in him, aren't you, my love? Everything here is my own, except for my fillings, Anthony. Tony, my Tony, aren't you? My little Tony. All right, good morning to you, sir. Good. So that's that. Now, let's have a little look there. Oh, I was in pieces last night. In pieces. So I'm watching Mr. Selfridge. You know I'm loving Mr. Selfridge on Netflix at the moment. I'm up to Series 3, Episode 6. There's only 4 series altogether. So I've slowed down watching them. I've slowed down. I was watching 2 at a time. But I'm not into this binge watching. I think if you keep watching something, you lose that you lose something. You absolutely lose something when you're watching these binge watching. So, never watch more than one, maybe 2 episodes at a time. Then it gives you something to look forward to, doesn't it? Yeah? Now, I know there's only 4 series of Mr. Selfridge, so I've only got 1 series and a bit to go. And I'm thinking, I'm going to really miss this when it's gone, so I'm extending it. So I was watching this one last night, and the bloke who's in charge of staff, with the one with that horrible dirty beard. I can't stand beards, lads. I can't. I mean, it's all right, a bit of stubble. A bit of stubble's all right. Even a little bit more stubble. But these beards, they just look hideous. A lot of people on the gay scene now have got these hideous beards which are down here. Oh, they're awful. There's something that I find a big turn-off about seeing a lad in a picture with no top on and his beard hanging down here. And they're just horrible. Anyway, so this bloke in it who's in charge of the staff with a beard. Okay, so he's in this particular episode. His wife, they've got, I think, 3 or 4 children. Anyway, at a point, he went away to fight for the country. Okay? Now, while he was away, the wife had a brief affair with her childhood sweetheart. And there's a child involved. So the proper husband, the one with the beard, okay, he's got 4 children that he think are his own. But one of them isn't. It belongs to someone else. Now, another lady who's in charge of accessories in Selfridges, okay, I love her so much, and she's had a rough ride over the years. She was having an affair with this other bloke when he was married to his first wife, who died. And then when she died, she thought he was going to get with him, but that didn't happen. So she became a friend, so to speak. Anyway, so she's in touch with the childhood sweetheart, the bloke. And they've got some sort of arrangement where she would go and pick up the little boy and take him to see his proper dad. But he couldn't talk or anything yet. So that was, that was all a bit secret. Well, this is what happened. So I'm sitting there watching. Oh, that's really nice. I'm thinking to myself, the father is getting to see the son. Okay, the problems with the bloke who thinks he's the father, that'll have to come in the future. I thought, well, I don't know how they're going to sort that out. And anyway, they're on this bench and she's got this picture, and she means to give it to the proper father of the boy. So then the meeting is over and they go their own separate ways. There's nothing going on between those two. It just happens to be that he's the father of her. So that she's sitting on the bench and she said, "Oh, I've still got the picture." She goes running after him, and then with no warning whatsoever, she crosses the road. Bang, dead. A lorry hits her, and it was so sudden. There was no when you're watching a film, like, oh, something's going to happen here. No, it was so sudden when she ran, and then bang, she's dead on the floor. I was absolutely in pieces last night. And at that moment, my best mate rang up. And I've got the tissue out, and I'm like, oh, I'm terrible with that. I'm the same with soppy music. I'm terrible with soppy. Talking of soppy music, I've got my music and chat show coming up in 10 minutes' time. Uploadradio.com. Don't forget that, okay? It happens in 10 minutes' time. Uploadradio.com, music and chat, and I promise I don't talk over the lyrics either. And I'm sitting there, drying my eyes like this, and my mate's rung up. I've hit the bar. He said, "What on earth is wrong with you?" I said, "I've been watching Mr. Selfridge, and she's dead." Are you the same? I'm terrible like that. Sad music and stuff like that. Mind you, sad music has to be sung properly. When you come to some of these karaoke nights, some people are good at doing ballads. But I've said this so many times before, there are ballads and there are depressing ballads. There's a fine line between the two. And it depends how you sing them. Some people sing depressing ballads really badly. Badly. No names mentioned. No, absolutely. There is no way I would ever name someone for doing that. But you know. And please. I mean, you can get away, okay? You can get away with doing a happy, jovial, maybe a joking type song with no voice whatsoever. Look at some of the drag queens there who can't sing. But it doesn't matter because their character carries the song. Doesn't matter. But if you're doing a ballad, that's a different thing altogether. I've heard some awful ballads sung, really have. So please stick to the happy, jovial songs. All right. Alan's going to do his housework. Well, it's about time. I heard you live in a bit of a pigsty, Alan. Is that right, lovey? When is the last time you got that duster out? I did cleaning last night. 11:30, I decided to go and clean the kitchen floor, don't I? And the toilet floor. And the toilet. And the kitchen. I did cleaning last night, 11:30 at night. I was so bored. I've got to find a Sunday night job. Looking for a Sunday night gig at the moment, a karaoke gig or a quiz night. Anyone that knows anywhere that wants one, please let us know, because I'm bored sitting at home. I really am. Money is secondary to me. It's never been about the money. It's always about doing the job. So if you know anywhere, let me know. Obviously, in Glasgow, I might have to charge a little bit more up there. Adrian says, so what happened to Drag Queen on Saturday? What happened to the Drag Queen on Saturday? Who was the Drag Queen on Saturday? Terry Tour. Miss Terry Tour. Excellent. Really very good. Terry Tour we had. First time I've ever worked with him. I think he's from Manchester or Birmingham, one of those two. We had him on Saturday night at Central Station. First time I worked with him. Fantastic show. Really enjoyed it. What a voice. What a voice. He did that that foreign one. What's it called? Nessun Dorman, la 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 la. And I was crying. Did you see me crying? No, you didn't, did you? I was hiding in the corner crying, honest. And I rubbed my eyes before I stood up again and took that wonderful artist off. Very, very good indeed. Very, very good. Mike says, I'm a karaoke DJ in Liverpool and couldn't agree more. Yeah, and again, Mike, these ballads, why do they do them? If you can't sing, right? If you can't sing, and you want to get up and do Save Your Kisses for Me, Save Your Kisses for Me, that will work for you. If you can't sing and you want to do Talk About the Happy Talk about things they liked, that'll work for you. Or shall we go a bit old school? If you can't sing and you want to do Aha, Take On Me, that will work for you. But if you can't sing, please don't do Mariah Carey, Hero, I Will Always Love You, and The Lady in Red, and The Power of Love. 4 big no-nos. Or My Way. Oh, God. Can I finish the night with My Way? No, you can't. You're not bringing my crowd down. Oh, but I really like it and I'm really good at it, which means you probably aren't. No. We're not finishing any night with My Bloody Way, dear. Awful song. Do it halfway through the night, but you're not doing it at the end. We need to finish on an upbeat song. It's like people want to finish with Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. What do we want to all slit our wrists on the way out the door? No. No, you finish with, I don't know, Sonia. Never Stop Me From Loving You. That'll do. Even some of the Oasis ones can be a bit dodgy as well. John says, I've been sobbing at Call the Midwife. Well, call her, love. Don't sit there crying. Give her a ring. Good morning, Ross. My mate Chris Brophy worked at Kiss in Manchester and was there in the day of the bomb attack round the corner. Oh, my word. That's awful. Awful. Heidi used to go and see you, George. I bet she was dancing the night away. Heidi always likes a good dance, don't you, darling? Good morning, Heidi. George did Kiss 100. I didn't know that. Yes, you did. I remember that. I remember that Kiss 100, George. I never got onto radio. I did. Well, I did actually. 1999 to 2000, I did the overnight show on Liberty Radio in London, and they kind of gave you. I mean, it told you what records to play, but I kind of had a free. If you're doing an overnight show, which they don't do anymore, no one does overnight shows. They just put a tape on, don't they? I'd say a tape. Put a hard disk on. But at night time, it was me and my friend David Rosen. We shared the overnight show on Liberty Radio. And we kind of said what we want in between the records. But you see, George, the trouble is it's all so formatted now. Everything sounds like Heart or Capital. And don't you find the DJs are talking at you rather than to you? Now, to give you an example, I'm kind of promoting myself now, but if you listen to my show, it's on in 5 minutes, uploadradio.com. Okay, go to uploadradio.com, click on Listen Live, top left-hand corner somewhere, right? Choose any one of those 3 stations, and I'm on all 3, and listen to my hour show that I do between 10 and 11 this morning. And that's what I mean by doing it my way. That's kind of how it used to be, 60s, 70s. Maybe I talk a bit more than some of them, but you'll see what I mean. I kind of created this show myself about 12 or 13 years ago for an online station called CMP Radio. I mean, anyone can go online and do a radio show. Anyone. It's fairly easy to do that. But if you go on an FM station, it's very formatted, and you can talk for 20 seconds, and you can't say this, and you can't say that, and you've got to say this. Oh, God. And it's all a bit wrong. It's all a bit much, really. So give that a go at 10 o'clock in 5 minutes' time, okay? Good morning, Ronnie. Morning, Ronnie. Best mate Ronnie's there. I'll be off in a moment, Ronnie. I'm just about to finish, actually, now, because I've got to do the music and chat show at 10 o'clock, which, incidentally, that is recorded. I record that usually on a Saturday morning. It's not live, but see what you think of that, okay? Uploadradio.com. I'll mention it again in a moment. Let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday this morning to... How many we got today? Oh, blimey, 11. That's 4 minutes to do 11 birthdays. Mike Stein, who I used to work with the Golden Lion in King's Cross. The pub's no longer there. Good morning, Mike, and a big happy birthday to you, sir. Dave Hamilton, happy birthday, Dave. Malik Smith, a young 30 years old today, who's raising money for an excellent charity, the Terence Higgins Trust. Good morning, Malik. Happy birthday, sir. Paul Shearer is 49 years old today. That's a foreign name. I can't read that one. I'm really sorry. It might be Russian. Someone's 41. I don't know where that writing's. It's like squiggles. I haven't got a name there. So happy birthday to whoever you are who's 41 today. All right. I'm really sorry. I can't read that right. It's not even like proper letters. It's like squiggles and that. So happy birthday to you who's 41 today. Darren Huntley. Happy birthday, Darren. Miguel Optimistic. Very nice picture of you, sir. Very nice pink tie. Happy birthday. Kai Smith. Hello, Kai. 38 years old today. Paulo Brochant is a young 30 years old today. Lovely picture, Paulo. Topless picture there. And Andy Payne's birthday as well today. So happy birthday to you all, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right? Enjoy your birthdays. Tonight it's karaoke at Central Station Bar. You find us at Wharfdale Road in King's Cross. Starts at 8 o'clock and finishes at 11:30. Bit of trouble with the traffic on the Euston Road at the moment because they're doing some waterworks there, so it might take you a little bit longer to get there. But once again, Central Station karaoke tonight and every Monday along with cheap drinks. Join us and our wonderful characters there singing their hearts out between 8 and 11:30. Right, I'm out of here, boys and girls. Thanks very much. Switch over now. Type into your address bar uploadradio.com. Click on Listen Live and then select any one of the 3 stations. My show starts at 10 o'clock. It's only on for an hour. Music from all time, all eras, and chat as well. See what you think of that and drop us a message bio, okay? Have a lovely Monday. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.